All right, so Dylan asked in chat. He said, I personally like my guild enough to do TWTB stuff because you guys work together as a team, have that underdog mentality, win TWs and stuff like that. I personally have always viewed this game as GAC only because that's all I've ever known, and I find it to be the most enjoyable game mode. But I think in order for the game to really not survive, because the game is in a pretty shitty state right now, but I feel like for the game to keep going, it needs to branch out, right? It can't just be GAC, GAC, GAC. Shut the fuck down. Fucking hell, James wasted. But yeah, like I was saying, like, I feel like the game needs to move away, and it's really weird because a lot of people think that money-based matchmaking changes help the whales, and in a lot of instances, they do. They help whales who are not endgame whales. Endgame whales are getting beat up the most, and I know you're like, oh, APGAINS, you're just fucking cranking it for the endgame whales right now. No, I mean, a lot of the really endgame, like, I'm talking top 25 players, kind of just don't do GAC or have quit or just mail it in now because they enjoy TW more. Because they just play the same people over and over again, and then you guys saw Arnold's stream, like, when your opponent is dropping $3,000 to $4,000 on Datacrons and you're not spending on Datacrons, you're not going to do well, right? Like, you can still win those if they suck. But the second you play someone who's competent enough to give you a good GAC and they've spent $3,000 to $4,000 on a Datacron set that you haven't, there's nothing you could do. So a lot of the endgame players are already switching over to TW, and then the TB is going to come out, and God, for the sake of this game, I hope the new TB is fun, because I think that's going to be the breaking point for the game. But I feel like we need to be at that point where, like, people enjoy different things. You can have me enjoying GAC, you can have the top, you know, you have, like, Loki and, like, Van Seal loving the fuck out of TW, you know, you can have, like, Celiac Sarah loving Conquest, you can have other people loving TB. Maybe they add a new game mode. Please add a new game. I mean, the new TB is the new game mode, but you know, if they added something else. I feel like we need to be at the point where we can't just view this game as GAC, because GAC is in a terrible place right now. And if we only ever think about GAC, like I do, the game obviously looks a lot worse. Like, if you look at it grand picture, like, there's some people who like to collect. It's still a great collecting game. Like, there's still plenty of characters to collect. New characters come out all the time. Yeah, it sucks to farm them. It's expensive. But if you only collect, you don't care about anything else, who cares if you have to wait an extra month or 3? Right? You're still eventually going to get the character anyway. Who cares? There's people like TW, right? TW is fun. I enjoy TW when I'm awake for it. Most TWs happen while I'm asleep, so I don't get to contribute much until the very end. But when you've gotten to a point where GAC is no fun, you know, having a 50v50 team collaboration, like Dylan said, can be incredibly fun, right? I've had a ton of fun moments in TW. Now, I feel like TW doesn't have the spotlight that other game modes do, because everyone's a pussy and won't stream their TWs because they're like, oh, you can't give away our guild proprietary TW secrets or whatever. So I feel like TW is not loved as much because there's not enough presence, you know, at least in the community for it. Conquest is generally hated because of how grindy and dumb it is, but there are tons of people who love Conquest. Conquest has been fun at times. It's been not fun at times. I think it all just depends on what the feats are and what the characters are and how the data discs work. But these last set of Conquests have been for a character that I'll never use, right? I will never have Ray, and I will almost assuredly never use Ben Swallow. And if I do, it's going to be under a Jedi Trading Ray team that's not going to be very good. But I'm punching up 4 or 5 million GP. I'm never going to actually use that team. So effectively, this entire set of Conquests was completely worthless for me. The Datacron set for this Conquest wasn't great either. You just need one Datacron, and that's it. I got my one Datacron, and then I stopped after the first week, right? But I enjoyed the data disc set. I mean, CLS, tell me that CLS with the continue attack out of turn, like you assist again, plus a couple of Zealous Ambitions for more damage, plus a couple of the, you know, C-3PO god tier data discs that let you do damage for debuffs. Plus the leadership, when the leader does a turn, everyone else assists. Like, that was fun. That particular part of Conquest I really, really enjoyed. It just so happens that I wasn't doing it because of the rewards or because of the character, because of Datacrons. I would do a couple battles of the day. Literally, I would just use CLS. I basically CLS soloed all of Conquest because I thought that data disc set was kind of fun. And I would just go and I'd be like, press one button, everyone's dead. And that, I enjoyed that, right? I enjoy some parts of TW. I enjoy GAC when I remember to play. Obviously, I've been sick with COVID, so I haven't played this last week. But, you know, even punching up 5 million versus 9 million, we can still win those. Like, those can be exciting. Those can be fun, especially with ship-only defense. I get to use all of my characters on offense. And, you know, if I lose to someone's wallet, that's fine. You know what I mean? When TW comes out, I hope that shit's fun, right? I think we're at a point where we really have to view the game as all of its facets, because the era of GAC only has kind of died. Like, when people talk about how this game is being dead, like, if you view this game like I have, and still kind of do, as GAC only, yeah, the game's been dead for years, right? Or at least a year. Approaching a year and a half, the game's been dead. But there's other parts of the game, and I feel like we're, as much of a dick rider as this might be, a dick rider take as this might be, I think CG is trying to branch out, at least the developers. Obviously, no one likes their executives and their money-hungry pigs, but I think the developers are at least trying to branch out and make it not a one-trick pony, if that makes sense. I think they're trying to make it so the game doesn't just have to be about GAC, because as fucked up as it sounds, like, there's only one way to be good at GAC. Well, there's two ways. The first is obviously spend a bunch of money. But, like, the second way is literally have been preparing for GAC for years, right? Like, if I hadn't prepared vigorously with the best possible farming strategy for, like, 2.5 years before money-based matchmaking came out, well, I guess it's been a year of money-based matchmaking. Wow, it's been a long time. But if I hadn't rigorously prepared for money-based matchmaking, I'd be fucked, and I wouldn't play this game, and I wouldn't enjoy GAC. And I think they realize that it's unfair for new players if GAC is the only metric of fun in this game, because new players will never be good at GAC. The way money-based matchmaking works, new players will never, ever, ever be really good at GAC, or at least as good as they want to be. So I feel like they have to make Conquest more fun. They have to make TW more fun. They have to make the new TB fun. Now, of course, the new TB won't apply to new players, obviously. But I think if they continue to maybe change light side, dark side, Hoth, GOTB a little bit, I think they can do some stuff there. They're adding Jabba nodes. You know, if they add other nodes, if they change some nodes up, if they move some characters around. I know that's not a money-making idea for them, but I think if they expand what's fun in this game, I think it will last a lot longer. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but GAC, I mean, it's still the only part of the game I enjoy personally, but as far as health is concerned, GAC is in the toilet. And I really hope TWTB kind of make a resurgence, because I don't think Datacrons or money-based matchmaking are helping. Did any of that make sense? This game is pain. I feel you, Anthony. That's why I've been trying to play some other games. It's more of just been therapy to, you know, fucking... Everyone's shitting on me on Discord and comment sections about fucking uploading Marvel Snap videos, but... I don't know. I think just like how I'm trying to do other things, I think you have to view Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as doing other things. It can't just be GAC. Just like it can't just be Galaxy of Heroes for me. I gotta throw in fucking Heroes of Middle-earth when that comes out, the new Marvel game I've been enjoying. I think this entire pointless YouTube video that'll get thrown up, I think it all comes down to not putting all your eggs in one basket. I was about to say as stupid as that sounds, but I feel like that's, you know, good advice. Moral of the story, it's okay to suck at GAC if you're poor. Just try to find fun in other game modes as well, and spread out your enjoyment.